Are you struggling to stand out in a crowded inbox? Well, these email subject lines that work are your golden tickets to boosting those cold outreach open rates. Imagine hitting a 25% meeting booking rate from your emails. It is doable. I do it with my outreach to VPs of sales over at salesman.com. So stick around to discover how to revolutionize your cold email strategy so you can watch those booking rates soar. Now, the first step to building an effective email subject line is to leverage what I call the curiosity loop. So if you've ever looked in your inbox, having sent hundreds, maybe even thousands of emails and cold outreach, and you've wondered why is no one biting on your cold emails? Well, here's the secret. It's all about grabbing the buyer's attention, but there is a catch. Research from Marketo throws a bit of a curveball here, revealing that the magic number of words for a cold email subject line is 7. Just 7 words to stop your buyer in their tracks and get them to click, open, and consume your content. This seems like a little bit of a tightrope walk, doesn't it? And so, with so few resources available to us, we need a bit of strategy here. So what I encourage you to do is to start opening a curiosity loop. A curiosity loop is opened when we say something that piques a level of curiosity in the buyer, and then we don't close it by giving the prospect the answer to the curiosity that we've built until they move on to the next step of the sales process. In this instance, we're talking about subject lines. So this is a subject line that opens a curiosity loop, but then the buyer has to click and open the email to solve that curiosity. Imagine dangling a carrot so enticing to your buyer that they can't help but grab hold of it and take a bite. And there's a bunch of ways of doing this, but how to and what if subject lines are probably your best bet here. Picture this, right? An email subject line, how to avoid firing your people. Or what if you could hit quota every single time? Now, these aren't just a series of random words. They are golden keys to unlocking your buyer's attention, because who wouldn't want to click on one of those? That is the power of a well-crafted subject line. It's not just about getting the buyer to open the email, it's about starting and opening a conversation. And this is where it gets interesting. We're not just building curiosity for curiosity's sake here. This strategy, when we mix it in with what we're going to talk about in step 3, really turbocharges your results. It's like setting up a domino effect, where the first piece, which is your subject line, knocks all the other pieces until we get that meeting booked. Okay, so next we're going to leverage something that's close to the heart of your prospects, their self-interest. So let me ask you, have you ever had a series of emails, then you've clicked that delete button rapidly throughout them faster than a lightning strike just to clear your inbox? Well, yeah, you've been there, I've been there, your prospects have they're probably in their inbox right now doing exactly the same thing. But what if I told you that there was a way to make your buyer pause, think, and then actually want to proactively open your email and engage with you? This is where we enter the realm of self-interest. So let's get real for a second. Everyone's favorite radio station is WIIFM, which plays the tunes of What's in It for Me. And consider this. If you've ever got an email saying, hey, I've got a gift for you, or if I'm prospecting sales leaders, are you missing this? The recipient to an email with those subject lines is going to be thinking, there's something in here for me. And with one fell swoop, you've got the prospect hooked. That's self-interest working in your favor at its finest. And it's not about tricking the buyer. It's about showing them that there's something valuable or something tailor-made for them waiting on the other side of that click. Now, let's think about applying this to your emails. Imagine the edge you'd have if your subject lines whispered directly to the buyer's needs and, quite frankly, their desires. If I was prospecting individual salespeople, I'd be using subject lines like, want to smash your sales goals with less effort. Because, of course, salespeople want to do that. And so they'd click because they want to know more. Another way of thinking about your email subject lines is that your subject line is your bait and you have gone fishing. You're not trying to close a deal. You're not trying to even book a meeting via the subject line alone. All you're trying to do is get them on your line. Then you can reel them in with your email content, videos, whatever it is, social media content, whatever it is you're using to prospect. The subject line is just to get the prospect on the bait, on the line, and then you can tell them what they want to hear most, what they really crave. Whether this is a solution to a gnawing problem or an opportunity that has been right in front of their face but they're currently blind to. It's about hitting the buyer where it matters most, their self-interest. Finally, let's take a look at how we can get something from the email rather than just looking for responses. Because it's not always just about the prospect. There's got to be an equal exchange of value with everything that we do as B2B salespeople, or as equal as we can get it. Okay, so diving into the grand finale of crafting killer email subject lines, let's talk about qualifying your buyers. So have you ever felt like with your cold outreach, you're just shouting or maybe even screaming into the void? You're wasting hours upon hours on leads that just never convert. Well, that's where the magic of a laser-focused qualifying subject line comes in. This is useful because lead qualification can be absolutely exhausting. Well, think about it like this. A well-crafted subject line can be the bouncer at the door to the club that you're running. It can ensure that only the VIPs, your qualified buyers, can make it through the front door and come party with you. Let me give you an example here, right? How about a subject line of executive briefing for seven-figure entrepreneurs? This isn't just a subject line, it's a velvet rope. It ensures that only entrepreneurs earning X amount of revenue in their business are going to click it, essentially, and go, oh, this is for me, and read the rest of your email. And this is where it gets spicy. Our team over at Salesman.com sends up to 1,000 emails every single day to test all of this. Everything that I talk about on these videos, in our training, in the books, Selling Made Simple, and the sales code, which you can grab for free, completely for free, over at Salesman.com today. Everything, absolutely everything, is tested. So do you want to know the secret sauce to some of our top performing sales subject lines? Well, here we go. With a whopping 72% open rate, we have, this is dead simple, the person's name, hyphen, winning, question mark. And next up, we have leading the pack at an 83% open rate, again from will@salesman.com, my own personal email address, right? That's where this email goes out from. Name dash quick question, question mark. That's how simple your cold email outreach can be. Now, I will say this. These numbers that I'm giving you right now are accurate as to the time that this video goes out. This video will be seen by hundreds, if not thousands of people. Tens of thousands of small business owners and salespeople will listen to the audio version of this on the podcast, which you can find over at anywhere you find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Just search for salesman.com podcast. And so whenever I give a specific subject line like this or an email template, it gets abused and it gets wrecked. So there's going to be a window after this video goes out where it can be used and it will still be effective. And these are the email subject lines that we're using over at salesman.com right now, very literally. So there we go. To wrap this up, remember, combine a curiosity loop with the buyer's self-interest and then tap into your audience to qualify them to set yourself up for a phenomenal cold outreach campaign. And if you want to learn more about cold outreach, why not click the video that's on the screen right now and continue making selling simple.